Change boy told me I was letting me your gift. You don't tell me what was the cause I pity your this. Tell me when I could have watched you with a cup of. Hey y'all, welcome to Shane's World. So today I'm going to be talking about sickle cell. My son passed away from sickle cell anemia in 2018. So today I just want to talk about, sickle cell and what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What is sickle cell disease? Sickle cell disease is a generic blood disorder that affects red blood cells. Normally red blood cells are round and flexible in shape, so they move easily through the blood vessels. In sickle cell disease, the red blood cells become hard, sticky, and shaped like a crescent or sickle, which it comes shaped like this almost. These sickle-shaped cells don't live as long as normal cells, can get stuck in blood vessels, block blood flow and oxygen. So a lot of people sometimes think that sickle cell anemia is, not as worse as the patient from a sickle cell patient. Some people think that the sickle cell patient is just faking their pain, which, people don't know their pain and don't know what it is to have sickle cell. So if you don't have sickle cell, you shouldn't talk about a person with sickle cell disease pain. So we want to talk about what the sickle cell affects. Sickle cell mainly affects people of African descent, Hispanic, Latino descent, Middle Eastern descent, Mediterranean descent, and Indian descent. In the U.S., it's most commonly in the Black and African American communities, but it can affect anyone. So, as you heard that, mostly if I've heard it just being inside of the Black community, which is, bad because I lost my son, and then like a couple of years later, I lost my cousin to sickle cell. So sickle cell is a very serious disease. A lot of people don't think it's serious. They take cancer more serious or whatever they say cancer. No, sickle cell is very serious. I've watched my baby not being able to walk when he was a little boy. I watched my baby have to walk around with the oxygen machine. I watched my baby in pain. And I couldn't explain his pain. Only thing I used to say is, I wish that I can take his pain away from him, because I don't know his pain. So sickle cell symptoms can vary from person to person, but common ones included pain crisis, which is sudden intense pain. So when my son was a baby, they did an interview on him at the CHKD hospital in Norfolk, Virginia. And in his article, they asked him, what does it feel like when he's having a crisis? And he said that it feels like someone is hitting him with a hammer. So you can only imagine, with him being a little boy, I think he was no more than about 4 or 5 years old, saying that it feels like someone is hitting him with a hammer. So you can imagine what that pain is, because I didn't even tap my finger with the hammer, so I know that hurts. So it can also cause them to be fatigued and be weak as well. Shortness of breath, swelling in hands and feet, frequent infections, delayed growth in children, and vision problems. So those are all the things that it can cause. And it's more things that it can also cause as well. Fever. They get real high fever. If they get a fever over 101, you have to take them to the emergency room. You can't play around with it because it can affect their blood. You gotta be, their spleen is important. My son had his spleen taken out because it had got infected. So he had to take it out. Pain crisis happen when sickle cell blocks blood flow. This pain can last for hours, days, or even weeks. Yeah. So we have a pain in our pain. We can take a Tylenol pain and it goes away. They give them a very powerful pill to take the pain away. But the pain only goes away for a little bit and it comes right back. So, with me watching my child being in pain and stuff like that, and him calling me crying, saying that he's in pain, he's, tired of living. He don't want to live anymore because he's tired of being in pain. So, what is a pain crisis? Important topic is, a pain crisis is one of the most serious parts of sickle cell. Caused by a blocked blood vessel, pain can occur in the chest, back, arms, legs, or joints. Pain levels can be severe and unpredictable. Stress, dehydration, cold weather, or illness can trigger it. So yes, he stayed thirsty. He always had to have something to drink. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay. He stayed thirsty. He was a very picky eater. He didn't eat a lot of stuff like we eat. So he was a very picky eater. How is sickle cell treated? There is no universal cure for sickle cell, but treatments help manage symptoms. Common treatments include pain management medication, blood transfusion, antibiotics to prevent infections. Whoa, okay. Hydroxyurea, a medication that reduces pain crisis. Staying hydrated and avoiding triggers. A bone marrow or stem cell transplant can be done and can be cured, but I was also told when he was younger that it's a 50-50 chance. So he didn't want to take that chance at all. But it's not an option for everyone as well, too. So living with sickle cell, people with sickle cell can live full lives, often deal with invisible pain, may face frequent hospital visits, need strong support systems. So yes, a sickle cell person needs a very, very strong support system. So how you be supportive is you be supportive by, being there for them when they need you. Not, telling them that they're not in pain, they're all right. Mental health is also important. Anxiety and depressions are common due to their chronic pain. And that's what my baby was going through. He was going through a lot of depression and stuff like that due to his pain. He always felt down. Sometimes, he had his happy days where he would call me, laughing and talking and joking. Why awareness matters. Many people misunderstand sickle cell. Pain is often underestimated or dismissed. That is the number one thing, because when my baby was in the hospital, the doctor told him, it was the doctor or somebody told him that he wasn't feeling the pain that he was feeling. And I was like, how the hell you going to tell him how he's feeling? No, you don't know his pain. If you don't have sickle cell, you can't tell him what the hell he's feeling. Give him some damn medicine. Research funding is still limited. Early diagnosis saves lives. He was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia when he was a baby. I didn't know what sickle cell anemia was when he was born, and they told me that he had sickle cell anemia. I didn't know that I had the trait. After I had him, when I called my doctor that delivered him, I was like, do I have the sickle cell trait? He was like, he said, you didn't know that? I said, no, I didn't know I had the sickle cell trait. He said, yes, you have the sickle cell trait. You're a carrier. So his father was also a carrier, and I didn't know that neither. Had sickle cell been talked about when I was younger, because I've never heard of sickle cell anemia at all. Had sickle cell been talked about when I was younger, I would have been more careful. I would have asked who I was dealing with, look, I have the sickle cell trait. Do you have it? If they didn't know, I would have told them to go get it checked out, because I need to know. Because I didn't want to bring a sick baby in the world. But, God do what he do. And God brought me my baby, and I was, happy for my baby. Raising awareness helps, improves understanding, encourage empathy, support better health care. So basically that's a lot about sickle cell. You can also, look it up and research it more and more and more. If I know a lot more about sickle cell, so if I was to get deep into it, it'll be a long video, and I don't want it to be a long video. So I want you guys to share your real life stories inside my comment section. Talk about the sickle cell trait versus disease in my comment section. I will respond back. How people can support their loved ones. Just be there for them. Let them know that they're loved, and just be there for them, and always be a hand for them or a shoulder for them to cry on. What we want to do is highlight Awareness Month. September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So in September, you're going to see me do a lot of videos for Sickle Cell Awareness Month. What I'm trying to do now is grow my channel, so I can grow my channel, so when I go live, I can have people come up to my panel and we can talk about sickle cell in the month of September, because Sickle Cell Awareness Month is in September. So if you guys have any questions for me, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button. Make sure you also turn on your post notification bell so that you will be notified when I go live, or either when I post a video. And also make sure that you like the video and also share the video. And share my video with friends and family, and tell them to come on over and join Chan's World. We'll be talking about important topics, and some days, I might come in here and I might do like my little beaded jewelry or something like that, because I like doing beaded jewelry and stuff. So one day you'll see me do it. Some days you might see me doing that or whatever. But also, excuse me, I'm going to also leave my Twitch link inside of my comment section. So if you would like, come on over and join my Twitch. Follow my Twitch. And also, if you have Prime, you can get Twitch for free if you have Prime. You can get it free to have Prime. Over there, what I do is basically I just vibe out. Sometimes, we might have conversations or whatever, which I'm going to have this conversation as well with my Twitch audience. Just trying to build up my Twitch audience a little bit more. Get more people to come on to my live so that we can discuss more topics. All right, you guys, thank you for being a part of Chan's World. Bye.